Slovenia.
Welcome to Sweden, boys. Make it safe. Go.
There is an overtime game in their history. Back in 2013, Slovenia led that game 2-0, and the Slovenes led the last meeting in 2023 1-0 in the first period. Now Montour centers it. Brandon Montour back on it. Moves that back to the point. And a quick chance there for Mike Matheson, and the stop is made by Horak.
Three cracks at it. Tendency early in tournaments, also overpassing. Matheson puts this one down there. Rebound gets batted out of the air. Glove to stick by Ryan O'Reilly, who is one of the very best in the league at picking pucks out of the air. Does most of his best work right on the lip of the crease. Pretty good.
And Zoshek trying to dig that free, moves it back at the point. Steve lost the puck, and a chance now for Canada. Busting right in, and a quick chance there for Kent Johnson, and the glove save made by Horak.
He was set in free by Forster. This is a tougher pass than you might think. You gotta dive, gotta get it out there. And Forster does a good job of it. Johnson can't quite create the gap to take it all the way to the net. Horak makes a nice pump save.
Jared Spurgeon, a little sort of wild with a long shot. That's knocked away by Horak, and Spurgeon back to pick it up. The media throng around him was a dozen deep.
Not just the media. Canada's practice had a few viewers that were players.
Now Crosby centers a quick chance there for Braden Shen. He's turned away. Montour. Now McKinnon. Slides that down to Konechny. The second power play is no slouch either. With a quick chance, Horvat scores! Bo Horvat, 12 seconds into the first minor penalty, makes it 1-0.
It's like a downhill one-timer pass. It takes a little bit of timing to execute, but Horvat is one of the better shooters in the buffer position. It starts with a reset, and as McKinnon attacks the net, he just pops it in, and Horvat doesn't need any room whatsoever. Head up, backhand sauce, wheelhouse, and he slaps it by Horak to open the scoring for Canada.
Back down to O'Reilly. Macklin Celebrini. Feeds it back down to O'Reilly. To Celebrini. Throws it back in front. Just missed Fantilli with that pass. Feeds that back to Dobson. 10 seconds to go on the power play. Johnson. Back to Dobson for Celebrini, unloads, and Horak makes the save. Celebrini back with it. Penalized players back on the ice. O'Reilly pulls it free. Horak the save. And Johnson could get his stick free. Braden Shen back with it. Shen goes rink wide to Spurgeon. Up ahead to Crosby. Now Crosby centers it, the tip there by Spurgeon. Good stop by Horak. Horvat back to Uyghur, to Konechny. Long shift in the offensive zone here. McKinnon on it. Crisscrossing with Uyghur. McKinnon centers it. Tip on goal by Konechny rather. And the stop made by Horak. He's tied up in the corner. Fights Todak. Todak plays that back. Bouncing puck in front. Garand is down. The puck's still loose. And a good stop there on the shot by Langus. The Austrians will play next against Sweden. Here's Horvat on it. That's picked off and brought back by Capel. 3-on-1 for Slovenia. Capel moves it and shoots, and Garand gets a piece of that.
Look, first off, it's a 3-on-1. Capel keeps, and there's a good save by Garand, right?
Nathan McKinnon. Lines back across for Montour moving in. That pass back across. Konechny with a chance, and the stop made by Horak.
A big one. They come the other way. Now, Konechny would probably like to shoot this a little quicker, but he settles. And Bo Horvat doing a good job occupying two defenders in front.
Now Matheson chips it back around to Montour. That's picked off. Droge sends it back in front, and a great chance there for Steve. And a good stop by Garand.
Turnover, Canada getting a little spread out. That connection between the forwards and the defense, not what you want it to be, as Matheson can't connect with Montour. And Celebrini not able to get back in time as Drogs throws it in front. And a quick tip from Sitar. Saved by Garand. A lot of pressure on Garand in this game. He said it, he was tired, so tired the hands were hardly working at the end of a shift for O'Reilly.
Now Sandin back across for Crosby, and Crosby just missed on the side of the goal.
In that case, and Sidney Crosby famously likes to drop to the one knee to chop it upstairs, but another good save by Horak, who was...
Okay, guys, Nate first, boys, everyone take one.
McKinnon, Konechny, and Horvat, the forward line again for Canada. For the Connecticut Huskies of the NCAA. There are a couple of college and junior players on this Slovene roster as Konechny moves in, slides it back across. McKinnon with a chance, and Horak able to make the save.
Shed Sitar, so well done. No look sauce. And Nate McKinnon just again does not quite get in the top of the net. A great save by Horak though to get across with a blocker.
The Slovenian players play in 12 different leagues in 10 countries. That's picked up by Celebrini, back across, and Fantilli turned away and tight by Horak.
Turn him aside, and then same kind of play here. Celebrini, I think early days before McKinnon came over, Celebrini was 9. He quickly gave that up to McKinnon and moved on down the line to 96.
McKinnon drops it off to Weegar. In comes Mackenzie Weegar, back for McKinnon with a shot, scores! McKinnon slides that by Horak, and Canada's got a 2-0 lead.
To cut this back and then hit Weegar on the drop, and that gaps out the two defenders. And with McKinnon's speed, he's able to attack wide. Nagavac concedes the ice and slips it 5-hole. Really smart shot, but set up by a crafty play in the neutral zone.
And moved back out by Stibbett, just out of the penalty box. O'Reilly. Up for Celebrini, he finds Johnson loose in front, and a pad save by Horak.
What a pass by Celebrini.
Crosby. And to go on the power play. Crosby back to Montour, shoots, that was blocked. As Belicic got a piece of that. McKinnon back to Horvat, scores! Paul Horvat with a rocket's got his second. Both on the power play. And it's 3-0.
And put it in different spots in the net. He scored one a little bit lower in the first period. This one after a good shot block, but they don't get the clear. Horvat pops out, and McKinnon and Horvat understand this play because Nathan McKinnon does this frequently as the shooter in Colorado. And it's a back foot shot. You got to get it, you got to go down yourself to get it up. And he blows it over the shoulder of Horak.
Jacqueline Celebrini's pass back was chipped. And Johnson can't hold the line. Final seconds now of his power play. Picked up by Celebrini. Walks right in. Slides it back across. They score. Noah Dobson jumping in takes the feed. Just as the penalty was about to expire. And Canada's got a 4-0 lead.
Nice skill being displayed. Ryan O'Reilly, good job. Strong on the stick to get it to the middle. With the little pickup by Celebrini. And again, I think it's a no-looker. Watch Celebrini's eyes. He's trying to freeze the goaltender as though he's going to shoot it. He does. And then slides it back door to Noah Dobson for an easy tap-in. And two, Canada's only scored one 5-on-5 goal.
Right. And Johnson throws it back in front. Just missed O'Reilly with that pass. Here's O'Reilly with it. Slides it there for Fantilli with a chance.
A save.
Terrific stop there by Horak. The IIHF takes much more into account, and the IIHF Hall of Fame is perhaps more indicative as Matzer works in, back across, and Graham makes a great stop there on Simsic.
At any level as high as Dylan Garand is, had a pretty good year in the American League for Hartford. Probably didn't love seeing Jonathan Quick sign an extension because he'd be clamoring for the backup job in the Rangers. That's a great save, push across, and even on the push, he's still very much in control, not even that outstretched.
Kent Johnson. Works that loose, centers it, forced for a chance. Pad save by Horak.
Not bad, but this one, really good. Another one where Canada would have...
Back Down to Makovic. Now loose in front, Garand. 2 point-blank saves on Sitar.
Canadians, not much doing for Slovenia other than this one chance. Shot that was tipped on the way down. That's a good save, but the rebound from Garand to flash it twice to take it away from Sitar. Right on the lip of the crease. That is well done.
McKinnon back across to Spurgeon.
That's part of the deal for them both coming over.
Crosby sends it back in for Celebrini. What a chance there, and a good stop made by Horak.
Hey, 46, Studs.
Montour knocks that away. Poked at by Celebrini. Back to center ice. Crosby goes after it. Celebrini finds McKinnon, walking in and shoots. And the stop made by Horak.
Celebrini returns the favor, gets it over to McKinnon, and he rings this one off the short side post. Here's the thunk. That's what he would have done the first time had he not been so unselfish. Now they haven't generated much, but they've generated a little bit.
Sabolic shoots, and Garand makes the glove save on that. Loose behind the Slovenian goal, feeds McKinnon. To Montour, 45 seconds to go in the period. McKinnon for Horvat with a quick shot. The glove saved by Horak takes away a potential hat trick from Bo Horvat.
This one starts behind the net, then it goes back up, down and over. Horvat's getting away from the net because he knows it's coming. Even with a jump screen by Crosby, he gets all of this.
Down to Montour. McKinnon, poke check by Horak, and Canada wins its opener by a score of 4-0. Canada now 6-0 all time against Slovenia.